Been on a Corsair kick lately. I thought I'd play at least a couple of matches. And this is the F4U-1A USMC. Can't say that 3 times fast. Anyway, I'm a little under the weather. And just wanted something that I could sort of relax. I'd have to work too hard. And this match ends up being 6 frags, but it's a good example of when your team plays well together. And I think there's 5 or 6 of us left at the end where just a really good team effort created some opportunities for me that I was able to take advantage of, and my shooting wasn't quite as bad as it normally is. Sort of back to the lazy man's video manipulation using the in-game replays. It is strangely much easier to vary speed and work through a match at your own pace using the in-game replays than any of the editing software I've tried, so that's my excuse. I know I said my shooting was better than normal this match. I promise it is. Thankfully was able to get the IL-2 there before his rear gunner was able to do any kind of significant damage to my aircraft. And moving on, sort of the natural choice is the Fokker. And I'm not sure if he doesn't see me. I'm not, this whole engagement just confused me. I'm pretty sure that aircraft has got forward-facing guns. They're at the same altitude. They're flying back towards the middle of the map. They just don't really seem to react at all, where they don't seem to be altering what they're doing based on how I'm flying. Not much to say here. As soon as I get the severe, I just pull off, continue back towards the rest of the team. Happy to share that one with my teammate. I guess between being a little under the weather and just giving this some time to marinate, the distance, right, that mental separation makes it a lot more difficult to remember, what I was thinking or what my thought process was at different parts of this match. I know I didn't climb a tremendous amount at the beginning, and I've been a little bit more aggressive, sort of assuming that maybe I can use the Corsair speed to get out of trouble if required. Because oftentimes in US props, it's a little bit of a gamble. You can climb, get awesome position, and clutch a match for your team, but only get 1 or 2 kills because you have no real impact or relevance until mid to late game. Or you can come in a little bit lower, a little bit faster early game. You have early game impact, but you are incredibly vulnerable based on energy generation and maneuverability. Anyway, so we've got the B239 here. It's an aircraft I hate to fight, but I love to put into the ground. And this pilot is not bad, but that's kind of his signature move. He does that little, look, I'm stalling, but not really, as bait. And the 239 just has such amazing performance that I very nearly don't get away there. And I start moving towards my teammate here, because I figure we can 2v1 this other guy, or we can actually trade targets in a 2v2, and then maybe we can both come back and wear this 239 down. As it turns out, my fellow Corsair doesn't actually need the help. He puts this guy into the dirt here in a second. It's the 239 trying his bait technique again. I want to point out that while that is bait, the aircraft has pretty good stall control, very good maneuverability, so it is a threat too. You have to be mindful of, whether or not he can get the nose on when he does that. And I get fortunate here because he maneuvers against my teammate, and I don't know if he was going to try a high OU there or what, but he thankfully gives me a very easy shot. And there's definitely something really satisfying about sending a 239 back to the hangar. It's definitely right up there with Spitfires and Zeros for aircraft that are not a lot of fun to fight. I don't know what the Finns did to that to take. I think it's a Buffalo, right? It's a Finnish Buffalo. It worked some sort of Nordic magic to make that thing better than the sum of its parts or its source. Originally, I didn't think I could get this IL-4. I'd checked the map a number of times, and his speed really surprised me. I thought he was going to be able to make the airfield, but in the end, I realized he's going incredibly slow, so I do make a pass. He soaks up a lot of ammo. At this point, I can't even see, really, to continue aiming. Thankfully, that's just a little bit of damage to the cowling. No big deal. Engine and flight performance in terms of roll, one elevator, and all the rest of it are unaffected. Happy to pick that one up. One less aircraft to prolong the match. So I appreciate that this, I think it's a DB3, right? I appreciate that he flew out. I'm not sure what his play is here. I'm not sure exactly what he was thinking, but I definitely respect the fact that he didn't just sit on or camp the airfield. Gave my teammate a chance there to maneuver on him. I don't know if he just had a high aspect shot that he couldn't make, but figured I was free to go in there and clean that one up. And then this next part's actually kind of funny. You'll be able to pick it up in the audio track, but I climb out here and it's another example of better lucky than good, as I can actually hear the prop for the other player, and I'm looking around and I don't see him, and he flies right over top of me, close enough for his pilot to keep up international relations if you're an original Top Gun fan. And you can fast forward it a little bit. I think you can actually hear his prop earlier and more clearly in the fast forwarded footage than you can hear in normal time. So I play with the speed a little bit, but there's a prop in the background there that is not mine. Looking around, and if it's a fighter or if it's something with decent forward-facing guns, right, from your 6 o'clock high, you should be very, very dead. But he's gonna blow right past me here. And the embarrassment of not having been able to pick that guy up, somewhat tempered by the relief in still being alive. Low ammo, can't quite get the shots on him here, and he is close enough to the airfield that between me being out of ammo, even if I wanted to chase him, I wouldn't have continued the engagement at that point. Well, I appreciate that belly landing is faster. Had some bad luck with that recently. But, so we know who the last guy is. He went back, he repaired, and I'm assuming he's taken off. I'm just trying to figure out where he might be. And I spent a little bit of time checking the map, engaging with my teammates, trying to figure out if anyone's got a lead on him. I like not to chase those AI bombers to the edge of the map. I guess it's nice that they're there for points or there for something to shoot at, but considering they would take you out of any kind of relevant position for anything else other than shooting at AI bombers, I elected not to follow them. And at this point I'm just looking around, see if I can pick up a little spec, contrail, something, which is incredibly hard to do on my laptop, basically playing the game on a potato. I think you could actually glimpse his contrail very briefly there. I eventually do pick it up and I realize, you can see. And again, nothing but respect for this guy, because he didn't camp the airfield, he didn't just circle above it, he flew it out. I lead with that, because again, I'm just not really sure what the thought process was here. I could understand trying to put himself in a position to use his rear gunner, or maybe, you know what, I don't know. But instead he ends up making a pretty big turn here. He gets himself really slow in front of me. And he does have an opportunity to get some shots in, but I've got to believe that that's more difficult for him than it might otherwise have been. But, you know, I've only got 5. I end with 6, so you know how this works. Right there. They're just absolute bullet hoses. Just hold the trigger down and go to work. When you have a full ammo load, there's only one guy left. And that's it. Pretty happy with that.